All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to innoXjogja. I'm so happy to back to our last panel session of the day. This is our third day and our third panel session of the day. And as you know, we've been through all of these 3 days. There's a lot of speakers, great panels. And for this of today, last session, I am so honored and I'm so happy to be the moderator also for this session. And this last session, we will discuss about the Royal Rumble of Jogja versus Jakarta versus Bandung. And as you know, our panelists are, there will be Mas Saga Iqranegara, the head of Aditif and CEO of Sertiva, MD Hadi Shafie Othman, the Chief of Strategies at Kumpul, and also Arip Tirta, the Commissioner of BRI Ventures. I'm so happy. And ladies and gentlemen, no overdue. I will not hold anymore. Let's get started to the panel. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. Hi, good afternoon, bapak-bapak semuanya. Apa kabar? Hi, Kang Arip. Hi, Mas Hadi, and hi, Mas Saga. How are you all today?
Baik. Hai semuanya.
Halo semuanya. I'm good.
All right.
Hey, everyone.
Before we start, let me try to introduce all of you guys first, right? First of all, before I introduce you, maybe I need to introduce a bit about myself again. So everyone, as you know, over these 3 days, my name is Riszki Ramadhan. I've already become the host and also the moderator. And for this panel session, it's back again to me. I am the community manager of Block 71 Bandung. And I'm so happy to introduce all of these three panels. But before that, I want to share something. This team, Royal Rumble, Yogyakarta versus Jakarta versus Bandung is my personal pick. I mean, with the team and also with everyone that's setting the program, this one is something that's very special. Why? Because this is the biggest question, I guess, in all around Indonesia, that how we want to discuss about the growth of the talent and also the growth of the startup in Indonesia. And sometimes people talk it because of geographic, because of the nature, and also because of the culture. That's why in this panel session, we have three people that actually can representing not only the cities, but I think can also representing Indonesia together. So, Kang Arip, Mas Hadi, and Mas Saga, I want you to introduce yourself a bit. What did you do already in this time and maybe before? But also, I want you to answer like, what is the music that you hear right now? I mean, I know people will say that music is sometimes reflecting about characteristic of people, right? A person. So for me right now, I'm very love to hear Japanese, what you call Japanese 80s music. So it's really in my heart. And sometimes people say, oh, because it's not because of my age, I know. I think it's because I like the way that Japanese in collaborate of the culture between their own culture and also American culture. So it's actually kind of adapt into me, and I felt it's the right music for myself. Now, probably I will start from Kang Arif first because Kang Arif on my right side over in my screen. So I think we will start from you, Kang Arif.
Okay, lucky me, I guess. Ini bakalan bahasa Indonesia atau Inggris?
Inggris, Kang Arif.
Hello, everybody. Thanks again, Kang Iki, for the introduction, and thanks again for the opportunity. Hi, everybody. My name is Arip Tirta. I'm currently working at various companies. The first one, I think, is BRI Venture as an independent commissioner. And then secondly, I co-founded a startup called Evermos, which stands for Everyday Need for Every Muslim in Indonesia. And then lastly, I'm a member of the Global Innovator for World Economic Forum. While it might seem that all those three entities and title are very different, but actually it has one commonality, which is and it aligns with my passion, which is I have a belief that I think we need to create kind of like a new ecosystem, a new economic system, which is more cohesive, inclusive, and also more fair. And I think for Indonesia, as we know, small medium enterprise is a backbone of the economy. We believe in people's economy, that how we try to find a way so that we can empower them, give them training, access, and opportunity so that they can become more they have the access to the inclusive economy and also prosperities. Yeah, that's it about me, I guess. And then about the music, it's a very tough question. For me, I think it depends on the occasion. But I guess two singers that resonate really well. I think the first one is the Black Keys, and then the second one is Nina Simone.
Wow. Wow. It's very deep. Then the musician is very, very deep. Okay, thank you very much, Kang Arip. Let's continue from for Mas Hadi. By the way, Mas Hadi is in Brunei right now, so he's not in Indonesia, but he works a lot in Indonesia. So Hadi, welcome. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey, thank you, Kang Iki. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's an honor. So what I need to tell about myself. So I'm chief strategist at Kumpul, and at Kumpul we work with lots of community builders like yourself, and we look to develop the startup ecosystem across Indonesia. Jadi this is an interesting topic because you're saying Jakarta versus Jogja versus Bandung, and I'm like, wait a minute, what about Medan? What about Surabaya, Denpasar? Don't forget them too. So I'm not going to just go for Jakarta. I'm gonna like bring the kampung with me. The sekampung we call it here. Yeah. I mean all the kotas and what else? You were asking.
Music. That's what.
Sorry.
Music. The music that you hear.
So music, I'm actually, so there's a startup band, a K-pop girl group called Luna di Korea, and it's like my ultimate favorite forever. So that's what I listen to. And the reason why I like them is musicnya agak, the music is a bit 80s as well. And the fact that they're a sort of startup that has raised funding, and Elon Musk himself has invested. So
okay. Wow. So startup, right? So it's a band, but it's a startup, right?
Yes.
Wow, fascinating. Thank you, Hadi. All right, for the next one, the last but not least, the Tuan Rumah, the master and the one that having the innoXjogja right now, Mas Saga Iqranegara. Mas Saga, hello. Can you introduce yourself now? You still on the mute, Mas Saga? Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I have some technical difficulties here in my own house because the PLN is mati lampu.
Blackout.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying my best to join this event. Yeah, so thank you for inviting me on this big event. I see this is one of I think largest event in Jogja. I think not only in Jogja but also in Indonesia for this pandemic
situation. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Saga. I'm born in Jogja, and people say I'm asli Jogja, yeah. And I started working in these industries. I think almost 15 years. So I built my first startup back in 2006. when I was in my college, and then today I'm the CEO of Sertiva. Sertiva is digital certificate solution, and also still, until today, the head of Aditif. So Aditif is Asosiasi Digital Kreatif. It's a startup or player in this industry association. So we have around, I think today we have around 50 members came from several states, early stage startup, and also some big names lah. And about the music, I think today I start to hear more songs from Yura Yunita.
Oh,
Yeah.
local from Bandung, Yura Yunita. Wow.
Yeah,
That's,
from
yeah, that's okay.
I love
Okay.
her sounds and also her personality.
Well, I'm actually friend of Yura Yunita. Probably I will say
Oh,
it
really?
later. Yeah. Yura is one of my juniors. So yeah. So
Oh, really? Yeah.
we'll be proud. Yeah. Thank you very much, Masaga. I'm very
Okay.
proud also with her. But okay,
Yeah.
let's start this panel session. I really cannot hold it because I'm very excited about this session. Right? Like we already talked before in the brief session. So ladies and gentlemen, yes, we do have some brief for this one. I want to talk the first biggest question to all of you, all the panelists. For what do you think right now in this time, in this era of the digitalization, and everything, all the government saying that 4.0 industries, blah, 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 and all that thing say, what do you think about our talent or startups condition in the reality to facing the new era of the 4.0? So probably I will start from the hometown owner, Masaga. Can you please share a bit what opinion about this from your side?
Okay. I think this era is hard for most of us. Yeah. I see a lot of my my relative and friends. Yeah. They are trying hard to uh, to to keep their business running, in this pandemic. And it's hard time for everyone. A lot of people being um, fired, or maybe not fired. It's too harsh. Yeah. I mean, but in the other side, especially for startup who have a solution for people in this pandemic, it's like a time machine. And actually, Sertiva is one of it. I mean, before the pandemic, without that, a year ago, without that, this is not our time. At least in this 2019. But after the pandemic, one of my best friend told me that, hey, Sertiva, this is your moment. This is your time to build your product and deliver your product to the market, because today nowadays everything is digital first, right? So I think for some uh, solution or startup, this is the right time to start their journey to the market. Yeah. And I feel I feel lucky in this despite this pandemic and everything hard in this year, we have fortunate moment to run or to deliver our solution to the market. Yeah. Not the most of us, but for some startup, I think this is the right moment.
So what do
Yeah.
you think is actually is also a time of a right moment for some of a startup or some of the people that you see facing
Yeah,
over in the
exactly.
4.0, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because as you say, in this condition of the pandemic, also it's making something that is a proof that the talents or the startup is ready or not to facing the digital or the 4.0, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Agree.
Okay. That's interesting. But I'll will give it this question to Kang Arip first. Kang Arip, what do you think after for your experiences? I know. What do you think for seeing the our next generation? I mean, all the startups, the talent to face it, the reality of the 4.0 of digital.
Okay. Yeah. Very good question. I think, as we know, digital transformation and also globalization are going to happen, whether we like it or not, or actually already started to happen. And as a result of it, we have, what we call digital economy. And I think at this point, we are at a very crucial point in Indonesia to determine whether, we will become only the user of, the technology that comes from the digital economy, or we become the players. Thankfully, in Indonesia, we have company like Gojek, Tokopedia, Bukalapak, Traveloka, that, propel us a little bit to the players. Without them, we will become the users. And I think we as a country, I think we need to work together so that we can develop, or we can develop our human resources, build a new startup so that we can capitalize on this new digital economy. Because I think the future of Indonesian prosperity might depend on our successness in capitalizing the digital economy in our home in Indonesia.
Okay, that's interesting. How we can capitalize our digital economy for our talents to be growth. It means like that, right?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. But okay, I'll be back again in that. Hadi, what do you think about it, bro? I mean, what do you see from the start of this our generation? Do we ready or do we not ready for this digitalization and then talents to facing all the digital and everything?
Actually, interestingly, last year, I was fortunate enough to work on a program with Bakti, Badan Aksesibilitas Teknologi dan Infrastructure from Kominfo. During that program, the founder actually she highlighted something which is very interesting about the growth of digital in Indonesia. So Ila mentioned, she said, abang-abang Gojek, the Gojek riders.
Yeah, the Gojek drivers.
The Gojek drivers. Almost all of them pre-Gojek, pre-startup, pre-digital. They don't know, they don't even own a smartphone. They don't see the purpose beyond like social media. But thanks to startups like Gojek and similar, of course, can't go without mentioning Grab, yeah.
No worries, and here we are natural, so no worries about it.
With the rise of startups like that and many more, including Bukalapak, Tokopedia, Shafie, for non-Indonesian, Shafie. Without these startups, because these startups exist, even the previously non-digital population realized that, hey, I should have a smartphone. Jadi they decided I should have a smartphone because I have smartphone, I can eat because I can make money. And that is a very core concept yang really when you're talking about like whatever the fancy term is industry 4.0 dan segala macam, and all that is like fancy terms lah. I call it fancy terms because it's like it's there, it's global. But if you look at just the heart of the matter, I have a smartphone, I know digital, I make money, and that's it. I will then learn how to use smartphone. In fact, some of the drivers until today, I can tell you, I've tried to order before. He doesn't know how to read the Google Map. He doesn't know how to read letters, but he understands what the Google Map means and how to get from one point to another, and he can deliver the item. You know, that's how crazy and amazing digital can be. He cannot read, but he understands how to get from one point to another, what he needs to deliver, and how much he's supposed to make. Udah, and that's all. And to talk about like IR 4.0, that's what the startups are doing. They're like, how do we transform our current population, whether it's in just Indonesia, seperti Kang Arip mentioned tadi, can we capitalize on this digital? I think the opportunity is there. Only half the population is on it, right? So we still have another half to go. So itu. Although for the purpose of this panel, most of the population is in Jakarta. So I must say this. Jadi adoption-wise, yes, I would say Jakarta would be the most easiest to start launching because the propensity to scale itu is faster. That's it.
Fascinating. Kang Arip and Mas Saga, Hadi already started. He already said that Jakarta is the city to start. While if we connected with all your answers of before, right? Like my Saga said, in the condition of this pandemic situation, we're actually trying to survive, right? There's people that actually reluctant, even though there's a heart and survival modes that are very high, but some of the people and talents and startups, they are survive because even though there's a COVID-19. And then Kang Arip said that we need to think and to convert how to make this as an economic system, right? How to be digitalized, economical, and so the people know that this is the future, what we're facing it. And then Hadi said that even the Gojek driver right now, they cannot read, but they can already ready prepare for the digital. It means I can say as a conclusion that actually Indonesia, basically, we are in the way of growth and ready to be for digitalize it, right? That it means it can be a conclusion. But then suddenly Hadi said, Jakarta is the most readiness. If you find it, it's Jakarta, right? And then, but it's not only from Hadi. I know most of my friends also say to me, if you are doing a startup or you looking for a job, even for a job, right? They will told me that if you're looking for the money, you go to Jakarta. But Indonesia is not only about Jakarta, right? We have Yogya, Bandung, Bali, Surabaya, Medan. We have a lot and tons of islands. I want to hear from Kang Arip and Mas Saga. Is it true? Is it Jakarta the one that can survive only, that can be started? Or do you think, no, it's not? Who wants to answer first? I'll give you the chance to wants to give the answer first. Kang Arip, Kang Arip, how is it?
Okay.
What do you think?
I think there are a couple answers to the question. I'm not trying to be diplomatic here, but I think there is a big difference between the best city to start and the best city to capture the market. I agree. I think Jakarta, I think, is the biggest market. Perhaps Java Island is the biggest market in Indonesia. But I think to start the company, in fact, when I did my first startup, Urbanindo, I did a little bit social experiments. I sent 100 emails to all the property agents all over Indonesia. I asked them to join my new startup. Surprisingly enough, I think Jakarta is not on the top 3 in the early adapter. If you try to find an early adapter, Jakarta is not the right person. Unless you have money that you can just burn to attract the early adapter, yes, Jakarta is the right.
The city for the burn the money.
Yeah, the top 2 for the early adapter are actually located in Bandung and also in Bali Island.
I see.
But what I see is that people in Jakarta or its surrounding, they like to wait and see. When they see some of their friends already use the product, then a lot of people from Jakarta start to use the product. At Urbanindo, I think around month 6, I think we see that 80% of our user comes from Jakarta and its surrounding cities. But in the beginning, most of them comes from Bandung, Bali, and also Yogyakarta. The hardest one to crack, I think, is Surabaya. They are very conservative. They like to use, the incumbent players, the number one players. They don't like to use new companies.
Okay, that's interesting. So Surabaya is the one that's actually quite hardest to be cracked up, yeah, Kang Arip. Yeah. While Jakarta, even though Hadi said is the city the most active, but no, sorry Hadi, for it depends on the situation. If the market it's maybe come to Jakarta, but if to start, it means it's actually rather to start
Hello,
not in Jakarta.
sorry,
Yes.
I have a bad connection here in my
No
home.
worries, Mas Saga.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What
So
do you think,
yeah,
Mas Saga?
I had to say this.
No
I had to say
worries.
this, but I think I agree with Kak Hadi, because 70% or maybe more money in Indonesia is in Jakarta. So if we just to run after the money, or follow the money, I think Jakarta is the place. But yeah, if we look back in my experience, I already helped almost 5 or more startup maybe from Jakarta who develop team in Jogja. So yeah, startup is trying to keep everything lean. Yeah. So yeah, startup have no money to burn. At least if they have, at least they start to think how to make it longer, the runway longer, so they can find the product market fit and so on and so on, with the lack of amount of money. So for that reason, some startup from Jakarta come to Jogja, and I think I'm the man who they if they try to find the right man, they come to me or another friends in Jogja and ask me to can you help us to build a tech team in Jogja. Actually, I cannot help most of them, but last year I
Mas Saga? Oh, I think my Saga connection is very bad. But again, continue for this one, I actually do agree what Mas Saga said. Most of the startups, right, in the end, when they are looking for talents, they are run to Jogja because they thought they can find. I mean, it's not they thought, but because I also can be agreeing that Jogja is full of a great programmer, but in the terms of money, in economical situation, right, Jogja can get a good programmer with a good price. That's what I think we can believe, right? I mean, I don't know Kang Arip or Hadi agree or not, but that thing is actually happened. So actually this come up into my next question. As you know, I want to know from each one of you, what do you think that the key differences in the talents in these 3 cities, especially Jogja, Jakarta, and Bandung? And probably, Hadi, you can share also not only Jakarta, probably Bali, Medan, and Surabaya, and other cities also. But I do really want to know, what do you think that the key differences of the talents within the cities? So probably I will start with Hadi first because Hadi have quite a lot of cities of experience, right? Hadi, probably you can share first. Hadi, what do you think?
Okay, I'm trying to rack up the number of cities I've been to in Indonesia. I think I've done already 17 actually. So it's very interesting. Let me just start with Jakarta, of course, because I'm supposed to.
You supposed no, you didn't supposed to lah.
I think Jakarta is interesting karena the talent wise it's very diverse, and because it's the pool, right? All the even students from all over Indonesia will converge on Jakarta after graduating. I mean, OE is there. Binus is there, UPH. I need to be careful.
No worries.
Which
It's
university?
okay.
But I'm just
We are so
general,
natural. No worries.
generally, there's so many universities in Jakarta that there's a lot of students that graduate, and then in terms of talent, and then we're talking about Gen Z, no longer millennial. Apparently, millennial is now old.
Yes, millennial is old already.
Sorry, the millennial, you are zaman old. Gitu. I've got that comment before. And looking at the talent of the Gen Z, they're more diverse. I mean, the talented ones that I've talked to in Jakarta, they're more diversely talented. That means they're a programmer, but they're also a content creator on TikTok. They're also a UI UX designer. They're also coding. You know, there's no longer like one of those like, okay, you're a programmer. Okay, great. That's all I'm going to do. And that multi-talent is more apparent. I'm not saying there's more of them, but just by virtue of population, mungkin that's why it's more of them in Jakarta. But there's more diverse talent in one person than in Jakarta that I've seen. I can't talk about the other cities yet because I'm not as familiar with the Gen Z in the other cities. But to be frank, I think there's also the upbringing and culture. For example, I've been to Manado, and you will find that a lot of the graduates or people seeking to start their own startup, they would be from families of farmers or families of nelayan, fishermen, or even the fish production. That means post fishing, you have all those canning and all that. So they come from these families, and they said, how come this is like this forever? Gitu. Isn't there a better way to do this? Gitu. So that kind of thinking is great, because then they were thinking maybe we should make a startup, maybe we should do e-commerce site like Bukalapak or Tokopedia was inspired them. So they want to do like a fishing online marketplace. Gitu. So it's and that's something you won't expect the Jakarta startups to do. They won't be thinking, how do we do a fishing e-marketplace? I mean, they are one or two. In fact, I'm not sure. Is e-fishery from Bandung?
No, e-fishery from Bandung, e-fishery.
Yeah, okay. So
Gibran is from Bandung, definitely from Bandung.
Yes. So it's interesting how they are like that, but you know, a lot of the blue economy, for example, from Manado would be thinking more in that direction than you know, someone from a main city. And then there's the small problem of understanding their own market. So one of the startups that I've mentored before, they were so confident, they're doing tourism, and then they were like, with this application, your village will get more and more para wisata, you know, tourists.
Tourism to come.
And then the villagers were like, but we don't want. So what are you doing? Because you're from the city, kan? So you expect everybody wants money, but they're like, no. Actually, if possible, we like to reduce the number of tourists.
That's interesting.
Those are the small things that from talent point of view, I think Jakarta is multi-talented. Itu ada karena they have to experience it. But every kota, including Jogja and Bandung, does have their own specialist industry yang because of the nature of the culture, of the family, of the upbringing yang will shape their direction for what startup they're doing.
I see. Interesting. Even though Jakarta, but Hadi said that in other cities actually probably have another mindset that actually more building a shape of that. So, Kang Arip, what do you think about this? As the question that I told you before is, what is the key differences in the talent between these three cities?
Yeah, very interesting, I guess. I think when I look at Jakarta, you know, It has the glamour, it has more opportunities, it has more money. When I see Jogja and Bandung, we have actually similarities in which I think, both cities have always have stories. We always have memories about the cities. What I noticed, I think, a lot of people come to Yogyakarta, come to Bandung to studies or to go on vacation. Once they graduate, perhaps, they want to work for multinational companies, they move to Jakarta. But when they start, thinking about building families, then they remember about, Bandung, then they remember about Jogja. What I see is that I think, for mid level and up, we see that I think there is this phenomena coming in which, people who used to live in Bandung, they move to Jakarta to work, then they craving to go back and live in Bandung again. And I think it's similar to Yogyakarta, I suppose.
Yeah, agree.
So I think we have that I guess advantage. Hopefully, because of all the good memories, the food, maybe the people and other things. But personally, I believe that I think Jakarta as a city is already overburdened. It's the center of, politics, it's the center of, financial, it's the center of startup, it's the center of marketing. Every single thing is in Indonesia, the center is Jakarta. I think if you look at, the US, they actually move around the burden, from one city to other city, give ways, for city to develop and become, bigger. If you look at, New York is the center of financial, and then we have Washington, D.C., the center of the politics, the government. Then we have, Silicon Valley, the center of technology. Yeah. But if you look at, even Silicon Valley, it's not the center of the entire technology, ecosystem. Yeah. We have Denver for telco, for example. We have San Diego for pharmaceutical. Yeah. I think, for Indonesia, right now we have a plan to move our capital city to Kalimantan, so that, the center of the politic will be in Kalimantan, which I think is a great initiative. Same thing, I think, with the startup, the tech startup. I believe that I think we should, try to spread around the burden that the Jakarta has right now to other cities. Back again to my earlier comment that, we need to create a new system. They are more cohesive, inclusive, and also more fair. Because with that, I think we can move forward as a country and become better together. For that, I think, of course, we have a lot of homework. We need to find a way, to do a lot of cross-pollination, to develop the right mindset between, various cities. Right now, I think Jakarta has that luxury. They are the center of, all the innovation, all the bright minds. But I think it's our job right now. How can we spread that talents all over Indonesia?
I see. Okay, thanks a lot, Kang Arif. Mas Saga, before you disconnect them this time, I'm actually continuing because you're saying that you are agree with Hadi in the way of Jakarta to be the economical city and all the money is there. And then I asked the question to Kang Arif and Mas Hadi is actually what are the differences, the talent in these three cities between Jogja and Jakarta and Bandung. But in the way, Mas Hadi saying that it's not about these three cities, but the other cities is actually can make and create another talents that actually reshaping and giving another perspective, and I think it's better perspective also. And then Kang Arif said that in the way, even though right now it's all the burdens, it's in Jakarta, and Jakarta is already overwhelmed, it's over too much, right? It's time to us right now how to spread it, these burdens to all the cities, so we can have a great nature of our talents and also the growth of the startup to be fair, right? Now, what do you think, Mas Saga, from your side as the person that you stay in Yogyakarta, what did you see in the key differences in between these three cities?
Yeah, I think each city has their own strengths and also weakness maybe. Yeah, Jogja is good city for living, yeah, for make a living, because everything here is relatively affordable compared to Jakarta or even Bandung. And then we have a lot of universities here in Jogja. There are, I think, around 100 universities or college, and also specifically for tech or IT related department, we have around 20 campus in Jogja who has informatika or ilmu komputer department. And yeah, that's our main strength here in Jogja. But our issue here in terms of tech talent is about the mentality and behavior. I already heard a lot of complaint from several CEOs or startup founders that people in Jogja is very good in technical thing, but in the, I mean, yeah, how to get the job done, and also the pace of the work. It's quite difficult because we have way different culture, yeah. Jogja is santai, santuy, and and Jakarta or maybe Bandung is a very tough city. If you don't get the job done, you will replace with another one. Yeah, different thing happen in Jogja, and that's, I think, the downside of talent in Jogja. Yeah, but still Jogja is affordable cities. So if you want to run your startup in first year, the first or maybe second year, Jogja is still the right place, yeah, because you can keep your financial, yeah, maybe 2 times or 3 times longer if than compared to if you start your startup in Jakarta. And I think there is no issue about the business, because Jogja, Jakarta is just 2 hours away, using airline, or today everything is zoomable. So I think for the business side, still no issue for startup built in Jogja. But the talent is
Okay, this is fascinating. Even though we really have a short time now in this session, but it's actually quite a lot of things that I really want to discuss. But okay, Mas Saga, Kang Arip, and Hadi, we already been talking. I think I don't know how to say this, but in the way of I'm not saying conclusion, right? But in the way to this, what you guys say is actually linked it up. It's all being linked it up into one circle. You know, like. Mas Saga said, if you want to start your own startup, you probably can start in Jogja, because in the economical side, Jogja is very cheap, right? It's all affordable. And even though as a talent, there's a lack of bit of the talent because of the slow pace. Because I think you're right. I think it's because also of the culture, right? It's the alon-alon klakon, and I do understand. But in the way of you saying that Jakarta or Bandung probably is more faster, I don't think Bandung also very fast. I mean, if you compare with Jakarta, but Bandung is very laid back, definitely very laid back. But I also agree if we say that after from Yogyakarta, and if you want to take another step for taking of the creativities and all the market sizes and everything, when you want to try to bring up your startup from Jogja and then expand to Bandung, I think it's one the option. Most of the startup right now thinking if they are from Yogyakarta, they will start to expand straight away to Jakarta, right? And sometimes when they come to Jakarta, they actually being shocked, and actually they are not ready to find it out that the cities are already burned out and everything. So, right? So I mean, it's really funny. I mean, I'm suddenly I just felt that it can be taking a one line, Jogja, and then go to Bandung to expand, and then when you are ready, you go to Jakarta. Like it's a step that it's actually we can conclude right now in this conversation. That I don't know you are agree or not, gentlemen, but I guess it's from all the conclusion is really great. But okay, I need to move to another question, and believe me, it's only 10 minutes more. I already being warned right now. So I will bring into the next question first. And I think this one is for the startup. I mean, for you guys to representing the startup. What do you think, guys, for startups, the one that out from Indonesia, from the outside, from the foreign people, right? How can they leverage the talent in the Indonesia, in the difference of the cities, or probably with the problem like Masaga said, right? But you know, there's a lot of another startup from outside, from foreign, from another country, getting into Indonesia, and they want to get the talents, not only because of the reason it's cheap, it's definitely is one of the most important is that, right? But in the other also when they saw probably it's because of the skills and everything. Do you guys have this opinion about this? You know, because to seeing the startup from outside come to Indonesia. Kang Arip, maybe you can start.
I think for right now, I think Indonesia, we still need a lot to catch up. If we compare to Singapore, for example, the government I think has done a great job. They give a lot of incentive for startup. Even foreign startup to go to Singapore, move their talent to Singapore, and they give subsidy. They give free salary for the Singaporean to join the startup. And I think the main goal for that is that to so that the Singaporean they can learn from good startup that have a representation in Singapore. That way they can learn the best practice. Once they have a lot of Singaporean that learn that talent, then they can spread it around to all the Singaporean. I think Indonesian we are still lacking in that. We still need to bring, I guess, a lot of talent from Silicon Valley, hopefully from India, from China to Indonesia. That way, we can learn a lot and we can move faster, I guess. That way we can catch up with other countries in the region.
Okay, so Indonesia needs we have a lot of homework to catch up, right, Kang Arip? All right, great. Hadi, what do you think, bro?
Well, I would say, President Jokowi yesterday gave a speech as well. I think we need 4 million new programmers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So even now, there is a shortage of talent in terms of developer, no matter where you are, Jakarta, Bandung, or Jogja. Although I must say, I understand Bandung, just dukung sebentar ya. Bandung, Bandung is with ITB, with the Institute of Technology Bandung, producing a lot of like highly reputable. I don't know whether highly reputable, I think is the right word. Engineers in a lot of the unicorns in Indonesia, including founder of Bukalapak, right? So that there's a reputation that best talent comes from Bandung, but Jogja not far behind. Gojek co-founders also come from UGM. Interestingly, I can't remember any of the founders coming from Jakarta.
Only William, right? Tokopedia only.
Yes.
Binus only, yes.
So not too bad, not too bad representing. But to answer foreign startup, I think there's a lot of foreign startup looking at Indonesia for market rather than talent. But there is a very but that being said, interestingly, this afternoon I was on a different panel for the Malaysian Tech Fest, and they were like, "How does Indonesia do it?" so they are. So don't worry too much. Gak ketinggalan. We're not far behind in Indonesia. Sebenarnya we're quite well regarded because of the size of market, because of the determination. So the real key is how not how well they come out of the universities, but how much do they want to be as good as the talent outside, right? So with that determination, which I see in every young Indonesian that I've met, I think the talent is looked for not because they are great of programming, not because they are genius or experienced because of being in a unicorn, but how much they really want to become the change maker for the future of Indonesia. And I think that's really why people respect Indonesia talent. And if you look closely in companies like Google, Facebook, all those big multinationals, you'll find a lot of Indonesians as well.
Yeah, I believe that.
So that's how I see it.
All right, thanks a lot, Hadi. It's actually, yeah, Kang Arip ada mau ditambahi? Is there something do you want to add?
Yeah, actually, I need to go now. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Go.
Yes, Kang Arip. Yes. Okay, Kang Arip, Mas Saga. Just give me 2 minutes, Kang Arip. Mas Saga, probably it will be the last of this session. Probably you can end it all of this, and also can give you a conclusion. What do you think, Mas Saga?
Okay. I have a different point of view with Kang Hadi, because in Jogja, before the startup era, before 2010, I think it's around 2008, I mean, foreign company, Game Loft, game company from France, they came to Jogja not for the market, Jogja is a small city, but for the talent. So and since then, we saw a lot of foreigners, I mean, from Singapore, from US, or from Australia. They built their production team in Jogja. So Jogja is, because we have a lot of talented people here and affordable, of course. So they built their production team in Jogja, and we are happy with it, because this is good for the city, and also good for the tech industry also.
All right. Okay, Mas Saga, thank you very much for the closing. Kang Arip, thank you for your time and for your chance to be here. Also, Mas Hadi, thank you very much. I know it's really short, but hopefully we can meet on the physically in the future, and let's discuss this again together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ended. Okay, thank you very much. Again, it's really a pleasure to be your moderators, and it's a pleasure for me to presenting this theme to the viewers also. So I'll see you again. Stay healthy and stay safe. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you again.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let me change a bit of my virtual background, because I'm changing to be the MC again. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Viewers, I'm really sorry for the short of this session, but as you know, it's really interesting. It's not ended, actually. It's not end because of the time. Probably we need to end this. But again, ladies and gentlemen of innoX, thank you very much to be attending this session. It is my pleasure to be the moderator, and also it's my pleasure to end this, our third day of innoXjogja. And again, I want to memorize you all, and I will not being bored to remember all of you that please to check out our innoXjogja platforms as you want to see all the virtual hubs, and then connect with all of our participants like incubators, startup, VCs, and all the corporates. All right. And also I'm reminding you, for tomorrow we will have another session of a panel, and also a virtual pitch battle, right? If I'm not wrong, let me check. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Here we go. Yes, we will have the panel discussion at 10 o'clock in the morning with funding opportunities in Jogja, moderated by Gisneo. And we have the panelists as Chandra Firmanto, the managing partner of Capital, and then Kiwi Aliwarga, the CEO and co-founder of UMG Idea Lab, and also Delta Purna Widyanga, the CEO of Kiskas. And then we will have the startup pitch battle, that the battle of the startup that being curated by our partners of 6 of our universities partners and incubators. And the judge, it will be from Wavemaker partners, from the Insignia Venture partners, and also from from the Gobi partners. So I hope that you will be attend. And also tomorrow we will have our ceremony of closing and award for the startup that win the startup pitching arena. Okay, I'm Riszki Ramadhan. Thank you very much for attending innoXjogja the day 3, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Hope we'll meet you soon enough physically, hopefully. And stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.